Showtime Pizza and Health Texas proudly present War Week Radio with 5-decade fight trainer James Gogue.
Guys, welcome, and happy Sunday to everybody. And if this is Sunday evening, well, better late than never. We're seeking the counsel of our very dear friend, 5-decade fight trainer, the incomparable Coach James Gogue. James, how are you doing today, sir?
Hey, Joe. Yeah, it's going to be a slow schedule for the next couple of weeks until that big Showtime card. But, yeah, football season's here. So, football's king in the States, American football. So college football, high school, and the pros, that's going to, dominate this fall.
Yeah, sure is, guys. So we've got really nothing big on the boxing calendar on October 1st. So let's go over this past weekend's action. Starting with the Friday night card from Newark, New Jersey, the Prudential Center, and that's Shakur Stevenson versus Robson Conceicao. And it was a championship fight with 2 belts on the line, but only for one fighter. Coach, Shakur Stevenson, what were your thoughts when he scaled in at 1.6 pounds heavier than the 130-pound weight division, and he didn't even attempt to try and use the extra time to make weight? He just conceded and said, you know what, I'm going to give up my titles. My next fight's going to be at 135 pounds. What were your thoughts when that happened?
Oh, God. First thing I said, typical fighters nowadays, man. They can't watch. Here's what I know. Since I train fighters, not this, read magazines or watch YouTube videos. Okay, I know personally. Me, fighters make money nowadays. They make a shitload of money. They start having a good time, spending it. You know what I mean? They start getting complacent, meaning you lose focus on what it is to be a world-class professional athlete. Watching what you're eating, keeping your weight in check. Training between fights, so keeping your weight, if you fight at 130, keep it sensible. No more than 130, 140, or 42. Okay, so when you go, when you go down to make 130, you ain't gonna have to struggle. Okay, that's these are habits, professional world class habits. Bernard Hopkins, I used to watch him in the days. How he never used to have his weight over 10 pounds. Okay, discipline starts with his diet. I mean, his nutrition. Yeah, he doesn't eat sweets. Doesn't eat junk food. Everything he eats is healthy. Holistic. Then he trains between fights just to to stay sharp. What did he say? Right when he's done with the fight, he'll get in the gym. On a Tuesday. 3-4 days later, just to shake out. Okay. His body's a temple, okay, and Hopkins treats it like that. But you don't see fighters nowadays like that, man. They lose that focus, that discipline, that commitment, okay, to keep that weight in check, okay, to eat the right foods, to keep living that Spartan lifestyle. You know what I mean? Of course, you're not getting ready for a fight, but you can still improve yourself as a fighter. Between fights by learning new skill sets, getting stronger, physically, conditioning wise, maintaining your diet, your focus and attention to details on your nutrition. You still, Joe, it's a 24/7. Now you don't train nowadays. Motherfuckers train 12 weeks for a fight, but anyway, you don't train that big. You don't train all that time. Then also when the camp's over, you go back to living like a normal person. Nah, over time, your body doesn't adjust to the weight so effectively when you try to lose it, okay? Because you get used to walking around 150 and your body gets used to that 150. So when you got to drop to 130, it doesn't respond. I've seen it over the years, Joe. Everybody says, well, this is a different era of boxing where, fighters, outgrow their weights. No, they don't outgrow their weights. They out-eat themselves in the weight division, okay?
Hopkins,
I know what.
Look,
Joe, Hopkins was champion for 10 years.
That's right.
Okay, 20 successful title defenses He never missed weight. What does that tell you? All right.
Well, what I thought was very odd, and this just happened on Friday after the fight on social media. Well, someone actually challenged your statement.
Oh,
And
Rick Glazer, yeah.
this is what you had to say. And this is someone who frequents our show who's what challenged you. Yeah, our friend Rick Glazer.
Yeah, don't you know Rick's on a different side of the boxing business. He sure is.
Yeah, and
okay, I'm a trainer. He's never trained a fighter.
Well, Gogue, please go ahead and explain all of this after I read this, okay? Because I was in shock that Rick would actually attempt to challenge you. Someone who's been a trainer for 5 decades.
Oh,
okay. This was shocking to me, right? So this is what you posted after the weigh-in, right, on Thursday night. You said, before Hall of Fame Don Chargan passed away 4 years ago, he told me he was alarmed by the amount of fighters and champions not making their contracted weight.
Yep.
Of over the 5,000 shows he promoted in 65 years in the business, he could only recall a couple fighters that didn't make weight.
Yep.
Now it's become an epidemic, he told me. Don't forget, back then, they did same-day weigh-ins at 12 p.m., and main event fighters fought 8 hours later at 8 p.m.
That's true.
Now they do day before weigh-ins at 12 p.m., and fighters fight the next day, giving them over 30 hours to recuperate and rehydrate. No excuse why fighters should miss their contracted weight. Lack of focus, lack of discipline between fights, letting their weight get out of control. It's called complacency.
Yep.
Okay? So this is what Rick Glazer had to say. He said, quote, I completely disagree. For the last 30 years, fighters have been doing extraordinary things to make it a natural weight. In the prior generations of boxing, the weight was totally a natural loss. That's why fighters made their contracted weight, unlike today. But back then, fighters fought in the proper weight. Today, they push the envelope like never before. Shakur Stevenson simply grew out of the weight class. He's growing. He won a world title at 26, 2 at 30, and now he's going to move to 135 and continue his domination, this time at lightweight. It was not unprofessional, James. Simply can't make the weight. Common sense and safety must prevail above everything else. And this is what you said. Hold on. You said, how many fighters have you trained in your lifetime, Rick?
Zero.
He said 0, but I understand the science. That right then and there, okay, you won the argument, right? But he still wants to go on because he can't. So he's not humble enough to accept defeat. He goes 0, but I understand the science, the generations of boxing, the history, and the safety factor. And that I can talk intelligently about the topic. And this is what you said, and this just whooped his ass. You said, Rick, I can talk about all that as well, but I'm in the gym grinding every day. Out of all the fights I've had with my guys for over 30 years, only one didn't make weight, because that fat pig didn't want to pay the price and took shortcuts in training. Yep. When you keep the focus and discipline between fights to train and eat right, your fighting weight stays in check. Ask Bernard Hopkins. 10 years middleweight champion, 20 successful title defenses. End of discussion.
Yeah. Simple as that. Yeah, these motherfuckers, man. Number one, they don't fight enough, Joe. They don't fight enough, okay? They only fight once, twice a year. So in that time, and they make a lot of money, okay? And they don't fight enough. That gets you complacent, man. That makes you lose your focus, okay? But if you fight consistently, 4 or 5 times a year, like the olden days, more than that probably. Hell, man, 4 or 5 times a year ain't a lot. Back then, shit, that was 8, 9, 10. But if you fought consistently, your weight's always going to stay in check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're always going to be in shape, But anyway, like I said, the combination of them not fighting enough, they're making a lot. Shakur, made $3 million for the fight, I heard? Holy shit.
Yeah, boy, that's an inflated purse. Now, once again, we'll go into all of the specifics on fight night, including the performance, including punch stats, all of that good stuff, okay? First, though, I want to give a shout-out to several of our friends in the chat. Want to give a big shout-out to Scott70, who's joining the show in Indonesia.
All right.
Good says, good evening, Coach. Joe in chat, good evening to you, sir. And thank you for joining us at 11 a.m. your time, sir.
Indonesia. All right. Nice to join us.
And then a brother here to there. Salute, Coach, Mr. Heron. Salute to you, brother. Also joined by our brother, Frank by the Bay. He says, yes, on fight night, Shakur was huge and looked fluffy. Sheesh. He looked like a middleweight Oscar De La Hoya, didn't he?
He's a strong kid, man. You know, he's developed this, you know, he's a man now. You know, he ain't no little kid like back in the amateurs when he was 14, when I used to see him fight. Okay.
Yep. That's it. Also want to give a shout out to our brother Antonio Luna from Long Beach, California. Good evening, War Week Radio family. Good evening to you, my friend. Thank you for always being a part of the show. Also want to give a shout out to my brother down under, Carl the Crocodile Hunter Hansen. Salute, Joe. Hope you're good, brother. I'm doing much better. Thank you, sir, for asking. Also, salute to the legend, Coach Gogue.
What up, Carl?
Thank you for always supporting the coach, and I hope you're getting geared up, Carl, for the October 15th rematch between Devin Haney and your man, George Kambosos Jr. Should be a great one. We look to see what kind of changes George may have made between fights. Hopefully it's a little more competitive. We'll see. Also, our brother here to there says, look, Rick obviously shilling for Top Rank on this one. Yeah, he always has an agenda, guys. And once again, I love Rick. He's a dear friend of mine, and I have a lot of respect for him, but he has an obvious agenda in some accounts where James Gogue always gives it to you straight. And why? Well, he simply doesn't care.
No, man, I like Top Rank.
He just tells it like it is. That's all.
I like Top Rank. They're the best promoter in the business. Bruce, Brad.
Yep.
You know, Carl Moretti, all them guys. They're real boxing guys. Aaron. You know,
yep.
they got a lot of Hall of Fame people working in that office over there. I got a number of respect for them guys.
Yep.
Solid.
So you know what, Gogue, when Robson Conceicao, when he was given the option of receiving his $200,000 paycheck, plus still an opportunity to compete for the vacant title.
Yeah.
Like in the future against another top-ranked opponent. What do you think Top Rank actually said to him?
No, man, he ain't going to ruin the show, man. They
Exactly.
Yeah, he gave him some more money. And they probably, you know what? They probably promised him a shot at the vacant title, too. So, you know, that's the deal with the managers. That's something you negotiate behind the scenes. Okay, I want more money, and when the title becomes vacant, I get to fight for the vacant title.
That's it.
Top Rank got juice with the BO, so it'll probably be with the WBO vacant title. You know, whoever it is against. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So vacant now are the WBC and the WBO 130-pound titles. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Gogue. Don't think it was, and once again, Conceicao's being touted as, oh, what a warrior, man. He could have easily just taken that. No. It was negotiated between Top Rank, said, look, you're not going to, this is a record attendance for a boxing match at the Prudential Center in Newark. You're not going to ruin this main event, buddy.
Yeah.
And that's basically the way it was handed to him. I guarantee it. So we want to give a shout out to our brother, A Pinche Punch, compadres. Thank you and welcome. And thank you for always supporting the coach, my friend. Also, my brother, W.A.W. Giving my best as always to Coach Gogue, Mr. Heron. Thank you, sir. Thank you for always being a part of the show and supporting Coach. Also, our brother, Pounds Bucksale. Salute to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Also, Hyphy, who always has a lot of insight. He said Shakur knew well before the weigh-in that he wasn't going to come close to making the contracted weight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's why he was playing.
A few days for the fight, probably. Yeah, man, I can't make it, man. But, we're going to, we'll make an announcement at the last decision, at the last moment, we'll make a little, and everything was negotiated behind the scenes too, before the weigh-in, to Conceicao people. So, you know, there was no surprise.
That's why he was playing ping pong rather than killing himself in the sauna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, and there it is. And our brother Carl says, I just hope George turns up this time around, brother. We're all hoping for that, sir. But Pounds also says, Benavidez gets ridiculed along with Tank. If Ryan and Teo were to miss weight, the criticism would be nonstop, and the media wants to give Shakur a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least Rick Glazer does.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on, brother. Moving on. Going to Shakur Stevenson, right? Although he lost his 230-pound titles on the scales, he still cruised to a unanimous decision victory over the game and tough Robson Conceicao on Friday before an announced crowd of 10,107 in Newark, breaking the previous record of Thomas Adamek for main events. Two judges scored the bout, 117-109, while the third judge had it 118-108, just as I did. For Stevenson, who floored Conceicao with a left hand to the sternum with 1 second remaining in the fourth. This is what Stevenson said to ESPN about not making weight. He said, I killed myself to make weight. And, he held me throughout the whole night, but I did everything I could. I think that he was doing a lot of holding whenever I got on the inside. Coach, that's not uncommon. When you have a boxer puncher from mid to long range, fights in the amateur style, that's his only defense on the inside, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. If you ain't got no skill sets to do it, Joe, you ain't going to do it. All right. And if you don't do it in the gym, remember I always said that, Joe?
Yep.
If you don't develop those skill sets in the gym and you're doing it when you're sparring, that tells me everything. If you're developed, if you don't, if you're in the gym, you're learning a new skill set, okay? But guess what? You keep practicing shadow boxing, the heavy bag, mitt work, and all that. But when you're sparring, you're not doing it. You're not going to do it in the fight. Man, you're not going to do it in live combat, man. You got to do it when you're sparring, okay? You got to do it consistently, day in and day out. Then it's a habit, okay? Fight night, you ain't got to worry about it. If it goes in the pocket, he'll be able to handle it.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And earlier on that card, we saw someone who really, I really impressed me and showed a lot of skill in the pocket, and that was Bruce Shushu Carrington, which pushed his record despite being a one-arm fighter after round number 3. He pushed his record to 5-0, defeating the rugged Jose Arguel. That was a brilliant performance, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But going back to Shakur, the punch stats. Listen to this, Coach. Total landed over 12 rounds, right? Shakur Stevenson landed 199 punches out of 531 total thrown.
Yeah.
Conceicao only landed 60 punches out of 483 attempts.
Yeah.
For a 12% connect percentage. And you look at the percentage landed against Stevenson, that's par for the course. He usually only allows between 12 and 13%. How good is Shakur Stevenson defensively? And is there anyone who can beat him at 135 pounds?
Man, he's damn good. He's got exceptional reflexes. He can see those punches coming and just makes you miss just by a little. He has good footwork, okay, to move in and out of range. But his reflexes, Joe, that's what makes him an effective defensive fighter. He can see those punches coming at him and react, before he gets hit. He understands range and distance, like I talked about yesterday. He understands how close he needs to get to the guy where he can hit him. And he also understands, his opponent's range, how close he gets to the guy, and if his opponent can hit him. And that's where he makes those adjustments and everything, okay? When he gets closer to the guy, he's okay, my opponent can hit me from this range, so I got to be careful. I better use my footwork to step back out of range, or I better slip those punches when he's throwing and everything. But his defensive skills, that's God given. You know what I mean? You can't teach that. I mean, you can't teach his reflexes, the speed, his reflexive speed, ability to react within a tenth of a second. Only the great ones have that, Joe. You're either born with it or you're not. Okay, the ability, that reflex speed I call.
And there it is. Sky's the limit for Shakur Stevenson. But you have to really feel for Robson Conceicao, Gogue, because it is only 2 professional losses, right? You go into his first loss against Oscar Valdez. He's at a competitive disadvantage there, fighting someone who tested positive for a banned substance.
Yeah.
Loses a questionable decision. And then now he loses again, well, to a guy who didn't even try to make weight.
Yeah, that's why, Joe, I really believe if his manager was smart behind the scenes, they would have negotiated. We'll take the fight. You give us more money, but you promise us, the first shot of that vacant title, the WBO or the BC. But to beat a guy like Shakur, you got to be a very aggressive, assertive, intelligent pressure fighter that knows how to work in the pocket, not try to tie you up all the time like Conceicao. Now, let me tell you this. Jose Luis Castillo, what do you think he would have did to a guy like Shakur? Come on, man. You know what I mean? All right? All right, a guy that knows how to pressure you, intelligent, patient, and those are right type of combinations in the pocket, which gives them guys with good reflexes a hard time. Them short, compact punches where you can't see them a mile away, like Conceicao, coming from long or medium range. A guy with good reflexes sees those punches, and you know what I mean. He reacts. He can react to those punches better, and make his opponent miss. Where a guy like Castillo, he throws him short shots in the pocket. If you got good reflexes, it ain't gonna matter. You're not gonna be able to see those punches coming. You're gonna get hit. A guy like Castillo, would give guys like Haney, them guys that are athletic, with good reflexes, good hand speed, good feet. Guy like Castillo, he would tear him apart, man.
Yep, one of the best inside fighters of the past 20 years. Also,
even Tank Davis, he'll give him an ass whooping. Yeah.
Yep, or a young Brandon Rios.
or what do you call it? Rios gets hit too much, man. Castillo, man, he's intelligent. He instinctive on knowing how to pressure a fighter. He would give Shakur everything he can handle. He would give Haney everything he can handle. Ryan Garcia, oh shit, he'll beat the shit out of him. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see who Shakur Stevenson, who Top Rank actually lines up for him. He called out Devin Haney immediately following the bout. Coach, how do you see that fight playing out from two gentlemen who like to combat and counter from mid to long range?
Shakur. I think he's just one step ahead of Haney. Okay. All right. Plus he's a southpaw. Okay. It's a lot harder to fight a southpaw. With the style and talent and ability like Shakur. Oh yeah, Shakur. Yeah.
Indeed. Antonio Luna, our brother, says, what about the Serrano Mahfoud fight? What about it?
Who?
Yeah. We'll talk about that card a little bit later in the back half of the show. But look, honestly, in my mind, and in the minds of several good boxing guys, knowledgeable boxing guys, that fight was of no consequence. I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I didn't. Who's Serrano? Who's that?
Amanda Serrano. She fought the main event.
Girl. Yeah, I like her.
Of the Joe Joyce fight.
I didn't know I didn't know she fought. Yeah, I like Amanda.
Yeah, she's a very good female fighter.
Yeah,
Hyphy says Robson had habits that reminded me of Amir Khan. That fight looked like a good amateur fighting against a good pro. Yeah. That's a very good summary.
Yeah.
Very insightful, and I can't disagree with any of that. Frank by the Bay says, damn, Coach is the GOAT for the Jose Luis Castillo analysis. I agree 100%, Coach. Yep. It's hard to disagree with the coach.
Jose Luis Ramirez is a handful, man. First time I seen him fight, I don't know. I think Diego Corrales fought Floyd Mayweather. I was at the fight and
Yep.
I think he fought on the undercard. And I'm like, man, this guy looks good, man. Strong, can punch, short, sharp combinations, a pressure fighter, good chin. I'm like, man, he's gonna be a handful for fighters. Yeah.
That's why he was a primary sparring partner for Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.
Oh, he learned something from sparring Chavez. The combinations that Chavez throws, them short uppercuts, the short hooks, the combinations to the body and head, breaking your opponent down, through attrition, round by round.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell
Yep.
yeah. He learned something by sparring Julio. Yeah.
Yep. I tell you what, I'll never forget, and I absolutely loved the call. Steve Albert of Showtime calling the great Jose Luis Castillo versus Diego Corrales.
Oh, yeah.
That showdown at 35, and seeing Chavez Jr. and Sr. there as fans ringside.
Yeah.
That was absolutely brilliant. You also saw Winky right there sitting with James Toney, rooting for their man Diego Corrales.
Yeah.
That was just a brilliant fight at the Mandalay Bay.
Oh, that Diego boy. Diego boy. Boy. I know that boy. Ever since I know Diego, since a little kid, man. Oh boy, he's a ballsy kid, man.
And that magical 10th round.
Yeah.
Tell you what, we could devote an entire show to that fight, though, guys.
Look, man.
I want to give
people don't fucking know. I used to spar Diego Corrales because I used to work. I talked about it. I used to train him with him and his dad. His dad used to bring him in the ring, so his dad, wanted me to start helping him. We won a national title together, in fact, in the amateurs. And USA, he was a USA national champion, #1. But a lot of people don't know, man. When he came into my gym, I was working with Tony Lopez, 3-time champion, lightweight champion of the world. I started sparring Diego with him when he was 14 years old. And, by the time he was 16, Tony didn't hold back. Oh, they go 8 rounds in the gym, man. And Tony never held back. So that, he got early informative years when he was younger, sparring with a tough Mexican fighter that, brings that heat when he sparred Tony. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, man, it's tremendous preparation for becoming a young pro.
Yeah, back then, man, Joe. Back then,
yes,
I just wish we had these phone cameras where you could record all this shit. Man, oh God, people would be like, "Damn, man," you know what I mean? But back then, man, you don't see that often. I was spar my amateurs against solid pros, man. You don't see that nowadays. Daddies are too fucking scared to spar their kids. Daddies only want to spar their, amateurs with amateurs. They don't want to spar with good pros. But back then, De La Hoya did it. Shane Mosley did it. I did it with Diego. I did it with my other amateurs. And Willie Jordan, another guy, Guillermo Jordan.
Guillermo Jordan. Yep.
Future WBC champion. When he was coming up as amateur, I used to spar with Tony a lot. Lopez. You know what I mean? All that gave him, that experience at an early age on what it is to work with a good sound professional, a world champion. Okay. And when they turn pro, you know what I mean? That's experience they can't buy.
Yep. That's it, Coach. I want to give a shout out to my brother R1000. Good evening, Brother Jay, and Coach Gogue. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for always supporting the coach every Sunday. Also, my brother here there says Castillo, seriously underrated. Castillo versus Stevie Johnston was a classic.
Oh, fucking Stevie Johnson was a hell of a fighter, man. I know Stevie in the amateur days, man. He was a national champion too, but he always came short when he fought Shane Mosley. And Vernon, but he gave Vernon Forrest everything he can handle, man. Every time they fought, that fucking Stevie Johnson boy, he was in Vernon Forrest shit. I seen him fight probably twice. I seen him fight Mosley maybe once, I think. But when he turned pro, man, nobody wanted to sign him. I was shocked, man. I knew Stevie. I was trying to get a deal with him with somebody, but nobody wanted to sign him, man. I believed in him. And it's not until his 11th fight on Tuesday USA Fights in Vegas. I was there. I can't remember. I had a fight there. And Stevie fought the Tuesday USA main event against Sean Mitchell. Right before the fight, I said, Stevie, you're going to beat this guy, man. Yeah, you're better than this guy. Yeah, he didn't know that, though. You know what I mean? He was just upcoming, man. And he looked at me, man, and, he goes, you know what I mean? And he stopped him. Yeah. Then after that.
Sean Mitchell.
After that, he signed with Arum. Because I tried to get him a deal with this other promoter, and it didn't work out, man. I don't know what the fuck happened. Cedric Kushner. Yeah, it didn't work out.
Cedric Kushner.
He was fucking Cedric was, what do you call it? He wasn't taking him serious, and Cameron and Top Rank were. And so they signed him. But the thing is, when Stevie was coming up, he beat James Page, WBA champion, in his 4th or 5th fight. Then he beat Shambra Mitchell. He beat 2 former world champions coming up, man. Before 11 fights. 11 fights, he beat 2 former world champions. And then you hear this shit about Haney. Oh, man, his last 4 fights, he beat 4 former world champions. Motherfucker, Stevie Johnson didn't have a promoter, was begging for fights, had to fight guys that are heavier, and he beat 2 former world champions coming up, man. Yeah, Stevie Johnson was a hell of a fighter, man. A hell of a fighter. I haven't seen him in years, man. I heard he's doing good, though. He's in Denver. Yeah.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear, Coach. I love your story, sir. Want to give a shout out to our brother, Toby Bartlett. Thank you so much for always supporting the coach. I salute Joe, Coach Gogue in the chat. Salute to you, my friend. Yeah. Also, MFB says, boy, yeah, Corrales Castillo was round 10, the greatest round ever fought. You know what? In the modern era, I'm not going to disagree with that. Oof. Not going to disagree with that.
Also, get this, Joe. Joe.
Go ahead, sir.
When Diego died, I didn't get to go to his funeral because, man, I don't know what happened. But anyway, I sent I sent the family flowers and and condolences.
Of course.
Who told me? The strength conditioning coach that worked for Diego, Ed Jackson, who's all the strength conditioning coach for Shakur and Ronald Winky Wright and all the James Princess fighters.
Yeah.
I told him to keep me updated on everything. He told me, when at the funeral, everybody showed up for Diego, and Floyd gave the family gave him, I don't know, 20, 25 grand. And Jose Luis Ramirez showed up from Mexico to show his respect. Yeah.
Yeah. Outstanding, Coach. I also want to give a shout out to our brother Haplotype. Thank you for joining us, sir. It's good to see you on the chat. Thank you for supporting the coach this Sunday, sir. It's good to see you. Carl also says Corrales Castillo, greatest war of my era. It's hard it's impossible to disagree with that. That was a breathtaking fight. Nonstop action and then ending with the dramatic 10th. Incredible stuff. Where have you gone, Corrales Castillo? I will say this, though. Neither fighter was ever the same after that fight.
Oh, man, that's
in fact, Diego Corrales. Yep. In fact, Diego Corrales never won a fight after that.
Yeah.
That's how much he gave inside the ring to everyone who was watching live.
Yeah.
Tell you what, breathtaking time capsule performance.
Yeah.
Tell you what, man. So we had a night of future stars on ESPN Friday. You saw the return of Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah.
Tell you what, he's got to do something about that ring moniker. Keyshawn the Businessman Davis.
Let me see that motherfucker when he gets hit on the chin, if he has a heart like Diego, if he can fight through hard times during a fight. Me, I don't think so. I don't think so. When he's in a real fight, when adversity strikes, I question his kicker in his heart. If he has that dog in him, that pit bull, you know what I mean? You know, that will to overcome. You know what I mean? We'll see.
Well, if he keeps on competing on top ranked cards, he'll eventually get tested because Brad and Bruce are the very best matchmakers in boxing. And they want to see what they have before they invest any more money in him. So congratulations, Oda. Go ahead, sir. He has been looking good. So congratulations to Keyshawn Davis for getting the TKO 5 against Omar Bahina. Also, congratulations to undefeated prospect Jahi Tucker. At 19 years of age, he's 9-0 now. He got an 8-round decision against Jose Luis Sanchez. Battered her from pillar to post. Yep.
Where was this, on Top Ranks card?
This was on Top Ranks card as well. Go ahead, sir.
What weight?
That was at 147.
I never heard of that. What's the guy's name?
Jahi Tucker.
Oh, Jahi. Yeah. Jahi Tucker.
Yeah, sorry about that. The accent's on the wrong syllable. Jahi Tucker. My apologies. Also, congratulations, and in my opinion, a card standout, Bruce Shushu Carrington. Congratulations to him from dominating a tough piece of meat like Jose Arguel, pushing his record to 5-0, getting the UD6. But Coach, boy, it was obvious he injured his hand in the third, had to complete, and that was his backhand, had to complete the rest of the fight with his left hand alone and did a great job doing it. Your thoughts on Shushu Carrington's performance, and what do you see? What does his future look like in your mind?
He looks good. He's got a pro style, okay? He's got that natural, kind of like, roll counter style. Good boxing skills, athletic, smart, okay, calm, keeps composed. Throws all the punches. He throws every punch in the book. Mixes his combinations, body, head, body. Okay, he's smart. He's a smart, crafty fighter. He knows when to hit that body. He knows when to hit the head. He knows when to mix it up. He throws the right punches at the right times, at the right distances. Yeah, he's smart. He's a smart and crafty fighter. Carrington. Yeah, I like him. So far, I like what I see. Yeah, he was also former USA national champion and all that. You know what I mean? Big amateur pedigree. But the other fighter I like you didn't mention was Henry LeBron. He's got
Henry LeBron. He actually
he's got a tough style to deal with. Southpaw that moves good, that's crafty, tricky.
Yep.
A real fast, explosive, sneaky counter puncher. When you get in range, he'll fire them combinations off, then he'll move around you. Brad Goodman don't like guys like that. He thinks he's horrible. But Brad likes the guys that, he don't like guys that run around the ring or move a lot. He likes guys that, more stay there and bang. It's good for TV. But this guy's I told Brad, look, man, this guy he's a stylistic matchup nightmare for fighters because of his movement. It's hard to get a clean shot on him, and it's hard to make him a stationary target. When you get in range to get off, he'll fire some combinations real quick and sharp, and then he'll pivot around you, you know what I mean? And he got pop on his punches to get your respect, to make you hesitant when you get close, okay? Yeah, but that LeBron, he's going to be a handle. He's got that, you know what I mean? He's tricky, crafty, and hard to get a good shot on him, and it's hard to make him a stationary target, man. Yeah, I think, me personally, out of all them 30-pounders that are in top-ranked stable, he's the best one out of all of them, if I could recall, yeah.
Yep, congratulations to Henry LeBron at 130 pounds. Pushes his record to 17-0 with a unanimous decision against former Don Jargon fighter Andy Ventus.
Yeah.
Dominated, picking up the WBO Latino super featherweight title, whatever the hell that means. But yeah, he looked very, very good doing it. Absolutely. So Friday night was an evening of red hot prospects plus Shakur Stevenson. Yeah. Excellent fight card from top to bottom, from Top Rank on ESPN.
Yeah.
And then the following day, Coach, during the day in Manchester, England, from the AO Arena, Joe Joyce, the juggernaut in the heavyweight division, boy, he did something that no one's been able to do, and that was stop Joseph Parker within the distance, knocking him out clean with the left hook in the opening minute of the 11th round. Coach, boy, I tell you what, and you said this earlier, right? When you have a good jab, when you have a granite chin, and you have plenty of crack in your shot, you can go far in the heavyweight division. In my opinion, Coach, Joe Joyce, after watching that performance, and it was the standout fight of the weekend. It was a brilliant heavyweight fight. Plenty of fireworks, plenty of bombs thrown, plenty of action, and plenty of drama. And in my opinion, Joe Joyce gives everyone problems.
Yeah.
Everyone, and I mean everyone, problems in the heavyweight division. Coach, what say you about Joe Joyce?
Yeah, he's just basic, slow as fucking molasses. But like I said, I've been saying this on the I've been saying this on the show a long time. I've been saying it for like I don't know, for years. Larry Goosen once told me, that Larry Goosen, Dan Goosen's a brother, when he had his gym up in Big Bear Lake, he told me, you could 4 things you need to be a great heavyweight: a good jab, a good chin, a good punch, and good conditioning. And Joyce got all that. Okay, he's got all that. But he's slow as molasses. He's basic. A guy like Tyson Fury would beat the shit out of him. A guy like Usyk with his movement would give him a hard time. And Deontay Wilder, I like to see how, if you could take Deontay Wilder's best right hand. I have a good feeling not too many people can. And Joe Joyce is easy to hit. If Deontay Wilder hits him right, oof.
Well, see, that was the thing, and it was interesting because I had Parker up, and you could have easily called it 2-2 going through 4, but I had Joseph Parker up 4-0.
Yeah.
Because Parker was landing the more explosive, seemingly more meaningful punches, but Joe Joyce just ate him and kept on moving forward, not even taking a back step.
Yeah.
But Joe Joyce, it was obvious that his combination punching to the and his volume punching to the body and head were giving Joseph Parker problems from the outset. And you could tell later on in the fight, it was going to be a serious problem. He just wasn't reacting well to him.
Yeah.
But Joe Joyce was eating some bombs, and it didn't even seem to phase him. Guys, total punch stats. Out of 844 attempts, Joe Joyce landed 308 for a remarkable 36.5% connect percentage. Joseph Parker only threw 566 and only landed 147, but most of them were on the mark, landing 26%. He was looking for that one shot, and you can't detour this guy with just one clean shot at a time. It was an incredible fight, and in my opinion, it was the standout fight of the weekend.
Yes.
And that's saying something, but there are a lot of standout performances. But so with that victory, Joe Joyce wins the interim WBO heavyweight title and now becomes a mandatory for Alexander Usyk immediately following the bout. He called out, and it was a tremendous heavyweight fight. He called out Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. So how do you see Tyson Fury versus Joe Joyce playing out, Coach?
That's easy work for Tyson. Tyson can stay outside box the shit out of that slow as molasses sloth. Yeah. Don't forget,
Sloth.
He's bigger. He's more athletic. It's faster. Okay. Smarter. Okay. Yeah. It wouldn't. Yeah. Tyson. It would be easy work. Easy work. Yeah. For Tyson.
I'll tell you what, it was a tough fight for both men. I can't see now. Once again, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are currently negotiating for a potential December 3rd fight. And if Anthony Joshua, and more than likely it sounds like he's not going to take this fight, but if Tyson Fury wants to maintain this December 3rd fight date, I don't think Joe Joyce is going to be ready in time after the kind of incoming he took. Now, once again, he reacted well and took all the shots well, but yeah, it was a brutal fight, Coach. I don't think he's going to be ready by December 3rd. Do you?
I don't know. Shit.
I mean, is this enough time?
For fighters these days, nope.
I tell you what, though, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. And once again, Tyson Fury was cheering on one of his best friends, Joseph Parker. He was at ringside. And yeah, he said, you know what? Credit to both fighters. They brought it. And credit to Joe Joyce. He was the better man in the ring. And he admitted, Tyson Fury admitted this in a post-fight interview. He said, you know what? I can see Joe Joyce giving everyone problems.
Yeah.
But I would easily beat this guy up.
Oh, he said that. Tyson said that.
He said, yeah, Tyson Fury said that. Yep.
Same thing I said. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay. Tyson sees what I see.
Yeah, well, and once again, you look at Tyson Fury and how versatile he is in the ring.
Yep.
He's a chameleon. It's very, very difficult to argue with that. But this is what Frank Warren had to say, Coach. And once again, in my opinion, because Frank Warren, well, he's a promoter for both fighters. I think Joe Joyce, Tyson Fury would be a very easy fight to make, and it'd be a big one in England. But this is what Frank Warren said about Alexander Usyk. He said, "Look, if I'm Usyk, I don't want to fight him. If I were Usyk, would I want to fight him? No. How would you?" He said, "I know they've got history from the amateurs, but that was the amateurs. You look at the size of him and how big he is. If he tries to outbox him, he'll just wear him down and eventually catch him. He's such a big man, and he doesn't stay off of you."
Cool.
I think he gives Usyk a lot of problems, Joe Joyce.
Yeah, the movement. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Because of his size.
He says, yeah, this is Frank Warren talking about a potential fight between Joe Joyce and Usyk. And once again, it's a rematch from the World Series in the amateurs, right? He says, I think he gives Usyk a lot of problems. Anyone can go if they get caught right. But up until now, they just seem to bounce off Joe, don't they? Anyone that's catching him, he just walks right through him. He has the most accurate nickname in the sport, which is the Juggernaut. That's exactly what he is. He's relentless. BT in Queensbury is the home of heavyweight boxing. That's where it's all at. All roads in the heavyweight division lead to Queensbury. End quote. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I will say this. Joe Joyce, despite being as slow as he is, yeah, he's in every single fight and gives everyone a very tough assignment. I can't see anyone blowing him out of the water. Just can't. Your final thoughts on Joe Joyce in the heavyweight division, and who would you like to see him up against next, Coach?
Fuck Joe Joyce. Move on.
Yeah.
Fuck him, man. I mean, I want to see him. I want to see the top heavyweights fight, man.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, this has been a great second half of the year for the heavyweights. Yeah, you had a brilliant heavyweight fight with a rematch of Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk, which you called, Coach. Great job. And then you had a very good fight between Andy Ruiz Jr. and the Cuban, what's his name?
Oh, that fight sucked. That Ortiz, that old fucking 48-year-old
Luis
guy,
Ortiz. You didn't like that heavyweight scrap, Coach?
Fuck no. They just looked at each other most of the fight. There was not a lot of action.
I really enjoyed that fight. I thought it was very intriguing.
All they did was look at each other and waiting for each other to throw. It was a fucking dud. I don't, look, man. I got excited for the rematch with Usyk and Joshua. Okay, I wanted to see Robert Garcia could make a difference. He did, but it wasn't good enough to beat Usyk, which I thought.
Yep.
I want to see that rematch with Fury when he fought Deontay Wilder. Okay, these other motherfuckers, man, I give a shit about. Fuck them.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm actually looking forward to Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius on October 15th.
Oh, yeah. I want to see. You know what?
Those two guys can punch. I really like that fight. And you know what? I'm really intrigued to see if Deontay Wilder hasn't lost a step since those two bludgeonings at the hands of Tyson Fury.
I want to see if he gets hit. I know Wilder can hit. I want to see if Wilder can still take it. If he gets hit by Helenius.
Yeah. That's it. Because Helenius can crack, and he's a very good counterpuncher. He's very good at timing you as you're coming in. His defense isn't great, and that's what I think. As long as Deontay Wilder is still Deontay Wilder, you might see a knockout of the year candidate coming up. But I have to read this. Carl says, I love the coach's response. F Joe Joyce. Oh, jeez. Shoot. All right, Hard Time says this, and welcome to the show, Hard Times. God bless you, brother. He says, what does Coach think about a potential matchup between Andy Ruiz Jr. and Deontay Wilder? The mix of styles should be a good fight. Well, you're going to get your wish. If Deontay Wilder is indeed successful, and more than likely, they'll probably fight for the WBC interim championship. Coach, what say you? Who wins that, and how does it play out? Do you like this matchup?
Whoever catches whoever. That's basically it. You know what I mean? Ruiz, fast, explosive. If he hits Wilder right, I don't think Wilder is going to be able to take a good punch now in the heavyweight division. With them 3 wars he had with Tyson Fury, you know what I mean? What's his name? Malik is getting him better skill-wise, polishing him up his boxing skills, but still don't matter. You're going to get hit, okay? And in the heavyweight division, you better have a solid chin if you want to go far. And them wars he had with Tyson Fury, especially that last one, I don't think he's going to be able to take a good punch if he gets hit right. That's why I'm interested to see Helenius. If he hits him right, how is he going to handle it?
Yeah, to be honest with you, if Deontay Wilder doesn't have the same amount of level of durability that he had before those 2 knockouts at the hands of Tyson Fury, he's going to catch a lot of incoming, and it's not going to be good. Helenius can punch, and he's a very, very good fighter who is going to be looking eye to eye at Deontay Wilder. That's an intriguing fight. So, Coach, with the final remaining minutes, we're going to look at the boxing schedule. We're going to look forward. And once again, there are no big fights of note this weekend coming up, right? October 1st, nothing. So we move on to October 8th on Showtime from Carson, California. Sebastian Fundora going to take us on Carlos Ocampo in your 12-round main event of the evening for Fundora's WBC interim junior middleweight title. Coach, do you like this fight, and what are you looking for from Sebastian Fundora?
Yeah, he's always fun to watch. He's action. Okay, he's not safety first. He's 6'6".
Yep.
Assertive and physical. Doesn't use his height like he should, and keep it at distance so he'll get like Shakur and not get hit less. He likes to press the action like he's a small guy, and he puts his combinations together. High volume punch output. Yeah, body, head, body. That left uppercut he has is brutal because everybody he fights is shorter than him. That's tailor-made for that left uppercut, man. When you got a guy, when you're a southpaw and you're taller than your opponent, you can them right-handers would eat that southpaw left uppercut all day. They would eat it. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yes, I like Fundora. But he got hit a lot in that Lubin fight, and he showed me, he got dropped. Okay, now I'm thinking, what if a guy like Charlo hit him? You know what I mean? Different story.
Yep. I tell you what, it's going to be interesting. Also on that card, Coach, and this is a very good card. You've got for the WBC interim middleweight title, because Jermall Charlo has been absent from the ring because of a back injury. You got Carlos Adames versus Juan Macias Montiel fighting for the vacant WBC interim 160-pound title. That's going to be an excellent style matchup. My sleeper fight, in which may steal the show, a return bout between current IBF junior bantamweight titleist Fernando Martinez versus Jerwin Ancajas from the Philippines. That should be another great fight. Coach, Are you really looking forward to that one?
Oh, man, yeah, that Martinez, I never heard of the dude until he fought Ancajas the last fight. That guy is a straight-ahead bull, high-volume punch output, relentless, physical, tough. Oh, yeah. Martinez.
Yeah, the Argentine, and he's managed by Marcos Maidana.
Okay.
and kicking off that fight card, and this is a very good crossroads bout. Igas Kavaliauskas versus Michael Fox in a very interesting style matchup, and this is a crossroads fight. I'm sorry, what?
Fuck that fight. I don't care.
Earlier that day, on October 8th from London, England, on DAZN, you've got Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn, the catchweight fight in your 12-round main event. Technically it says junior middleweight, but technically in the middleweight division. It's 155 pounds, isn't it?
You there, Joe?
Yeah, Coach, what are your thoughts?
About who?
I'm sorry about that. Let me read that over again. On October 8th, London, earlier that day, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn at your catchweight bout in your 12-round main event.
Yeah,
your thoughts on this fight?
It's a good local fight, regional fight over there. You know what I mean? Both guys are well known. Both guys' dad fought each other. Both guys' dads were world champions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, when the two sons are fighting, yeah, and it's creating a big buzz. I heard it. Is it sold out? I heard it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sold out in 20 minutes, Coach.
Oh, yeah. So there's a big buzz. Anytime a fight sells out that fast, it's hot. Tickets are hot. Okay. It's a good matchup, and yeah, that's good for boxing. You don't see that. You don't see that here in the States, in the United States. When you got two local guys fight each other and they sell tickets out in 20 minutes, motherfucker, they'll give tickets out to sell the place out in 20 minutes, not paying it. Totally different market. The UK, you got real diehard fight fans, pound for pound, the best fight fans of boxing. Ain't scared to take money out of their pocket and invest in boxing, or or not invest in boxing, to give to boxing so it could grow as a sport. Yeah, man, them fight fans in the UK boxing, that's the way the USA used to be. Now it's a fucking joke. Boxing in the US, a fucking joke.
Yep. Also, Carl the Crocodile Hunter Hansen, our brother, he points out Nikita the Butcher Zoo takes on Darkon Dryden on October 8th. Watch this kid. I think he's better than his brother, Tim. Your thoughts on Nikita Zoo, Coach?
I didn't know he had a brother, Nikita Zoo. I didn't know that.
I'll tell you what, I'll send you the link. We'll keep you informed. And thank you for bringing that up, Carl.
Yeah, they got daddy's genes. Daddy Costazu was one hell of a fighter. So, yeah.
Oh, he sure was.
Yeah, but Don Chargan told me this. He says he's never seen a champion superstar fighter where their son is better than them. Okay.
Well, come on. That's a tall order if you're expecting your offspring to be better than Kostya.
He's never seen one where their son. He's seen where their son's better. Only time he's seen where their son is better than their dad. When their dad was not a tough guy, but ordinary. Okay, but he has a son, and the son is better physically gifted and talented. Good example was Jose Luis Lopez, the former WBO champ. He said Don Chargan promoted his dad, and he said he was a good, solid 10-round fighter, but he said the son was so much better physically talented. Yeah, that's the only time you see it. When you get, when your dad is not as good, when your dad is not as good as the son, because it comes down to ability, talent, and ability. Another one, Joe. Father who wasn't as good as his son, Floyd Mayweather Sr.
Yeah, well, you can say that again, brother.
Yeah, yep. Floyd Mayweather Sr., a good, solid pro, but his son was just so much more physically gifted. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, hey, talent takes you far in this business, man. It determines how high your ceiling is.
Well, it sure does. Absolutely. Haplotype actually beat you to it, Coach. Yes, sir.
I don't give a fuck how good you are as a coach, okay? You can teach your fighter this and this and that. But if you're fighting a fighter that's physically gifted, boy, you got an uphill climb, okay?
Yep.
Yeah, you got the odds. You got the odds stacked against you.
There it is. You can make maybe a good opponent.
Yeah. Guys,
but I tell you what,
guys like Floyd Mayweather. Guys like Floyd Mayweather, Terrence Crawford, Roy Jones Jr. Shit. Now the Shakur. Fucking man. I mean, they're physically gifted, talented fighters, man. I don't give a fuck who, Bomac, he got lucky and he got a guy like Crawford. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
There it is. Speaking of Floyd Mayweather Jr., did you know he actually fought this past weekend, Coach, in Japan?
Yeah, I seen that joke of an exhibition. Well, they're gonna keep if them dumb Japanese are gonna keep paying them, man, I'd milk them too. Okay.
Yeah, Coach, and I really couldn't care less. Once again, everyone seems to be up in arms and a little pissed at Floyd Mayweather Jr. still fighting. Look, he's not eating up valuable and rare TV dates on any major network.
Yeah.
He's just offering these fights for his fans and getting paid handsomely to do it.
And he's not taking, and he's fighting overseas where they're footing the bill, man. Yeah. Ain't no look, all champ Don Targan told me that back in the days, all champions did that. They take when they retire, they knew they were past their prime. They do exhibitions just to stay in the public's eye.
That's it. So yeah, he beat, I think he had a second round knockout against YouTuber Mikuru Asakura. Stopping him. And at the end of the fight, he said this, Coach. I'd like to thank the whole country of Japan. Unbelievable country, unbelievable people, an exciting, incredible turnout. Round of applause for this great competitor right here.
Yeah.
End quote. He also stated that this was not going to be the last fight of 2022 for him. In fact, it's been rumored, or it's been stated even by Floyd, that they're in the final stages of negotiating a rematch between Floyd and Conor McGregor.
Oh, fuck.
Coach, what say you about that fight? And that's the last thing we're going to talk about, sir.
No comment. Fuck that shit, man. If you want to pay for it, go ahead and be stupid enough. All right? Yeah.
Oh, geez. Well, that's going to just about do it, guys. Coach, do you have any parting shots for our listening audience, sir?
It's going to be slow until, mid-October. So, just tune in. And meanwhile, American football is going on, and that's king right now. High school, college, and the pros. That's where, all the action's at. That's what I'm, watching right now. And, but anyway, yeah, I don't see any fights that are going to get my attention, not until that Showtime card that Joe talked about earlier.
Yep, that's going to be in 2 weeks, Coach.
Yeah.
Once again, we don't have anything this weekend. We've got several good fight cards coming up on the 8th and as well the following weekend on the 15th. So that's something to look forward to, guys. Until then, though, Coach, you're going to be tuning into the Cowboys versus the Giants tomorrow night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm going to watch that. It's going to be a good game, yeah.
Guys, I'm going to be watching that game, and afterwards I'll be doing a late-night show with a very special guest. It's going to remain anonymous until tomorrow, but I'll be going live tomorrow, so please join me for that. But, guys, on behalf of the 5-decade fight trainer James Gogue, I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to War Week Radio, guys. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful week, everybody.
Halftime Pizza and Health Texas proudly present War Week Radio with 5-decade fight trainer